Good morning class 8th chapter number 15 light. Student, we have discussed in previous lecture dispersion of light and kaleidoscope. Student, today we will discuss the next topic, the human eye. Student, the most remarkable optical instrument is considered to be the human eye. You can see the diagram. The light from the object that we see enter the eye and is interpreted by the brain. Here the light energy is converted to electrical impulse that is sent from the eye to the brain to interpret the image of the object seen. So you can see the many parts of the human eye. The human eye consists of many parts. You can see the figure. What are these? You can see the foremost part of the eye through the light enter the eye, which is cornea. The foremost part you can see this, the foremost part of the eye through which light enters is transparent cover called cornea. And you know the cornea protect the eye. This is the cornea, and it protect the eye, and about 70% of the focusing of the light falling on the eye is done by this cornea. 70% of the focusing of the light falling on the eye is done by the cornea. And student, you can see there is a aqueous humor also. There is a aqueous humor. So student, the cornea is shaped by a fluid. There is also a fluid is called aqueous humor. Aqueous humor. Aqueous humor. Okay. Next part you can see pupil. The light then enter an opening called this pupil, and you can see the size of the pupil is controlled by the iris. The size of the pupil is controlled by this iris. By the controlling the size of the opening, the amount of the light entering the eye is controlled. So iris also gives the color to the eye. It also gives the color to the eye. So what are the function of the iris? First of all, it controls the size of the pupil also, and it also gives the color to the eye. Now you can see there is a lens also. There is a lens. There is a lens also. So student, the light then passes through the lenses. There is a lens. 1 second, hold down. There is a lens. You can see this lens. Now what will happen? The light then passes through this lens. And now what is the function of this lens, and what type of the lens are present in the human eye? Okay, the convex lens are present. Which type of the lens are present in human eye? Convex. So this lens focus the light on the retina. You can see the eye muscles that hold the lens help in the focusing by reshaping the lens. There is the ciliary muscles also. These are the eye muscles. And you can see there is a retina, and it is present at the back of the eye, and it works as a screen on which the focus image of the object is formed. On retina has the rods and cones also. There are the rods and cones. You can see this diagram also. There is a retina. So it is present at the back of the eye, and you can speak this retina is a screen. on which the focus image of the object is formed. The retina has the cell rods and cones, so named because of the shape of the cell. Rods, there are the two types of the cells are found in retina. First is rods and second is cones. Rods detect the intensity of light and while cones detect the color. So there are the many animals that have only rods, no cones in their retina. So therefore they see the world in the black and white. You can take example of the Coke. Okay, now there is the other nerve are present at the back. Okay, so now retina detect the light. Now the retina detect the light and send to the signal to the brain through this optic nerve. And where the point, there is a point where the optic nerve, this optic nerve connected to the retina. There is no rods and cones are called blind spot. What is the spot? Blind spot is the point where the retina and the optic nerve are connected to the retina. Yeah, you can speak in other word, the point where the optic nerve is connected to the retina. There is no rods or cones, and this point is known as the blind spot. And you can see there is also a jelly like fluid. Jelly like fluid fills the eyes. You can see fills the eyes. That is called vitreous humor. VITREOUS, vitreous humor. So there is a jelly like fluid that fills the eye and gives shape to the eye. This is called vitreous humor. So I hope you understand this structure of the human eye. That is a very remarkable optical instrument that is called human eye. So you can see there is a different function of the each part of the human eye, and you know human eye is a sense organs and which help us to see object around us. So the eyeball is almost spherical in shape. So we have discussed. So what is the function of the cornea? The light enters the eye through a transparent membrane are called cornea. And behind the cornea there is a muscular structure called iris. Behind the cornea, you can see this diagram also. This diagram is very helpful for you. So behind the cornea there is a muscular structure called iris which has an opening called pupil. So the pupil control the amount of light entering the eye. Behind the pupil there is a eye lens. It is convex lens which focus the image of the object on the retina, and the ciliary muscles helps the eye lens and to focus the image of the object on the retina. And retina has the two types of the cell called rods and cones. The rods are sensitive to the bright color and light and colors, and cones are sensitive to the dim light, and the optic nerve carry the sensation to the brain. So this is the structure of the human eye, and you know which type of the lens is present on the human eye, convex lens, and it form the inverted image on the retina, but brain correct this image into erect image, not inverted. It can send the message at a in the form of the erect image, and you can see the erect image not inverted. This is the special for the human eye. So I hope you understand this structure of the human eye. Now student, we will discuss the defect of the vision. Okay, so if we talk about the normal human eye can see near as well as the distant object clearly. The minimum distance at which object can see clearly is called 25 centimeter. Minimum distance. The minimum distance at which object can see the eye, that is 25 centimeter. Some person can see nearby object clearly, but they cannot see distant object. So some person can see distant object clearly but cannot see the nearby object. So these defects are corrected by the suitable corrective lens. So sometime in old age people cannot see clearly because the eye lens becomes so cloudy, that is called cataract. This defect is found in old age people, and it is corrected by the removing the eye lens and replacing it with the artificial lens. This is possible only in old age, and this defect is found in the old age people. Because why this happen? Because at this stage the eye lens become so cloudy, and that is called cataract, and it can be corrected by the removing the eye lens and replacing it with an artificial lens. Now you can see there is a two disease, myopia and the hypermetropia. This is the myopia and this is the hypermetropia. So first we will discuss the myopia, then we will discuss the hypermetropia. The common defect are the myopia. In this defect, a person can see nearby object but cannot see distant object, and this defect can be corrected by the using the concave lens. In myopia disease, or you can say that myopia is a short sightedness. In this defect, a person can see nearby object but cannot see the distant object clearly, and this defect can be corrected by the using concave lens. Okay, now next is the hypermetropia. In this defect, a person cannot be see nearby object clearly but can see far object, and this defect can be corrected by the using the convex lens of the appreciate power. So these defects, whether it is myopia, hypermetropia or cataract in old age, how can you prevent this type of the defect? How can you take care of your eyes? So there are the some preventive measures are there. We will discuss how can you care your eyes. So first of all, if there is any problem of eye, have a checkup and use suitable lenses in your eyes if advised, and too little and too much light is bad for your eyes. Too much little and too much light is bad, both. Next, do not look at the sun or very bright light directly, never we see. If dust particles enter the eye, do not rub the eyes and wash your eyes with clean water. Next is the always read a normal distance. Do not read by keeping the book to be close to the eyes and keeping it to so far. Next is the deficiency of the vitamins A cause night blindness. So take food rich vitamin A. So some corrective measure also, wearing the specs also in case of the defect any vision, eating vitamin rich nutritious diet and visit a doctor if there is a requirement. So if there is, first point was there, if there is any problem of the eye, have a checkup and use the suitable aspects if advised. So there are the some preventive measures are there, so you can take your eyes, because eye is a very valuable sense organ for us, for all of us. Okay, so I hope you understand this. So now student, we will discuss the last topic in this chapter, visually challenged people. Braille system. So student, visually challenged people. So there are the people who are visually challenged and have either limited vision or no vision. Visually challenged people. What are the visually challenged people? Have either limited vision or no vision. Some of them have lost their vision at birth, while others due to some accident or disease. This visually challenged people can sometimes regain their vision or if the defect or damage is the cornea or the eye lens. If there is damage in the cornea or eye lens, they can be regain their vision. There are the ways by which cornea and the lens can be donated, mostly from a dead person. But in other case, if the injury is in the retina or optic nerve, so this cannot be corrected. These are the permanent damage and the person cannot be regain their vision. So there if damage in the cornea or eye lens, it can be corrected by donating the cornea and the lens, mostly from a dead person. If there is injury in the retina or the optic nerves, then these are the permanent damages and the person cannot regain their vision. Next is a Braille system, Louis Braille. Braille is a method by which visually challenged people can read and write, and this system was invented by the Louis Braille. A visually challenged person himself, he was a visually challenged person who lost his eyesight at the early stage, and you can see there is a diagram also. This system consists of the raised dot in pattern that represent both alphabet and numerical also. Both alphabet and numerical also. By feeling the pattern of the dots with his or her fingertips, and usually challenged person can read as well as write by making the similar pattern of the dots on the paper. And there also nowadays there are the typewriter also there, so they can read also and they can write also by making the similar patterns of the dots. And if we talk about the typewriter like device, that is a visually challenged person can use to write on paper using the Braille system. There is the typewriter also. This visually challenged people also touch the fingertips on the typewriter, and so they can use to write on paper using the Braille system. This is very useful for us. So if we talk about the eye donation, if we talk about अगर हम बात करते हैं eye donation की, so it is a act of the donating one's eye after death. Only the cornea of the eye will be transplanted to a blind person whose cornea is damaged. So listen student carefully, eye donation is an act of the charity and totally voluntary, and it is only done after death of the donor. So student, the people should be encouraged to register and get an eye donation card. So you know student, if you donate, if donating once, अगर जो if one person can donate eyes, so this donating one's eyes can make two blind person see. Understand what I am saying? If one person donate their both two eyes, so a two blind person can see the beautiful world, because the world is very beautiful. If there is no eye, so you can imagine what is the world, what is the beautiful world. So I hope you understand students, I hope you understand. So you can read this chapter also. What is the function of the human eye, how can you take care of the eyes, defect of the visions. So okay students, take care, bye.